Now we are going to start with lightning. As the Benjamin Franklin actually proved that whenever there is a thunderstorm, the clouds get charged. So what happens? Suppose how the lightning and thundering is caused, we are going to study that. Suppose as it has been confirmed that during the thunderstorm, the clouds get charged. Suppose let's say this cloud is positively charged. This is charged, but that the cloud which is nearby, suppose it is uncharged. So what happens, suppose this is charged and this is uncharged. So what happened, due to induction, it will acquire an opposite charge. So if it is positive, so it will acquire a negative charge. Right. And when such clouds come closer to each other, because we know that clouds are not stationary, they are moving. So whenever oppositely charged clouds come closer to each other, they produce lot of heat and light, which leads to the lightning. So that means first, suppose this is a charged cloud, it will induce charge on the uncharged cloud, the opposite charge obviously. So when they will come closer, so they will attract and produce lot of heat and light, which is the cause of lightning. Now, how the thunder is caused? Because the tremendous heat actually which is produced. So due to which the air gets heated. Whenever there is lot of heat production when the two clouds come closer, so there is lot of heat produced, due to which it heats up the air, and we know that on heating the air expands. So air expands, you can say with a suddenly, because due to heating, which leads to the production of loud sound in the atmosphere. That is the thunder. So when clouds come closer, the oppositely charged, they attract, produce lot of heat and light, which is lightning. And because due to lot of heat, the air gets heated and expands suddenly, and causing a loud sound, which is the thunder. So this is what is happening during the lightning and the thundering. That is what is happening during the thunderstorm. Now you know that this thunderstorm is actually very dangerous. It can shatter buildings. It can actually also actually lead to the fire in the buildings or the trees. Because how? Because when these charged clouds, suppose this is a charged cloud, let's say this is a positively charged cloud. So when this cloud come closer to any tall buildings, let's say this is any building, right? So when it approaches any building or a tree, so what happened, again it induces the charge, because this is positive, so obviously it will induce a negative charge on it. So, and sometimes you know that the charge produced is so large that it can actually shatter the buildings, and it can actually let the fire in the buildings due to the attraction. Because again, due to the attraction, because the charge is induced, so obviously it is in opposite. So due to the induction, the charge which is produced in the building, because when they will attract, and due to the attraction, it will lead to the production of large heat and light, which can actually lead to the fire also. So you need to be very careful during thunderstorm. So there are certain do's and don'ts which you need to do during the thunderstorm. What you have to do is, suppose you are watching any TV or using any electrical appliances, so just switch off that thing which you are using. Secondly, when suppose you are outside and there is a thunderstorm, then what to do is rush to a safer place. And what is a safer place? It is a low size tree, can be that, and it can be low size building also, because the very high buildings are dangerous, because they acquire a charge they can acquire a charge due to the induction. So you need to take shelter near the low base buildings. Third, if you are in the vehicle, suppose you are driving a vehicle, so what you need to do is you have to keep your windows closed, and even the doors also. But so this is what you need to do when you are inside the vehicle. But what you need to do if you are not inside the vehicle, but you are in the house or you are outside the house, so do not use umbrella. Do not use umbrella over your head, because it has a metal string, so which are conductor. Secondly, do not stand near the tall trees or buildings, as I told you, because they can acquire a charge, because when the cloud passes, so there is a chance that it comes in contact with the cloud, and the charge is induced in those buildings or trees, because they are very large, and so that can actually be dangerous. Do not lie on the ground. Do not lie on the ground. Do not take bath when there is a thunderstorm. Avoid contact with the running water, because we know that water is a good conductor. Because the water which you get it at home is not a distilled water, it has many minerals, so it is a good conductor. So you need to avoid contact with the running water. And do not use wired phones. Do not use wired phones because they have conductors, so that can be dangerous again. So this is what is the do's and don'ts which you need to take into consideration during the thunderstorm. Now we'll start with the lightning conductor, which is installed in the tall buildings in order to avoid the fires, or in order to protect you or the buildings, or the buildings from during the thunderstorm.